Wake up, Jacob, Israelite Prepper here. Just wanted to come back with another video. I was actually thinking about something. I was thinking about sexual purity, right? And why it's so important, especially in ancient Israel. And it's not so important today as it should be. It should be very, very important. But when we look at TV shows, commercials and all this other stuff, it's all about, sexuality and women showing off their sexuality. Okay, by the way they move and walk and talk and dress, everything is about being alluring and all that. And of course, the Bible warns men about, women being alluring and all that and that other thing. But this is not about that. This is not about, wickedness of a woman and all that. It's not about women bashing or anything like that, but it is about sexual purity and the onus of that. It was really incumbent upon the woman to be sexually pure, okay, especially when a woman, and as we all know, women are supposed to be taken care of and covered from cradle to grave. Obviously, she starts off in her father's house and then she moves to her husband's house, right? So that much we know. But when she moves to her husband's house, she's supposed to be a virgin. And so that's why it was stiff penalties and things like that when it comes to sexual purity of a woman, right? So there was a premium put on, quite literally, in a way of, a dowry, right? There's a premium put on her purity. There's value, right? And monetarily was the only way we can express that value. But there is a premium on it. And I know some people think, oh, that's old-fashioned, that's archaic. Okay, if you're not in the truth, then it's going to sound very, very strange to you. It's going to sound crazy, okay? It's going to sound like, prostitution. But a lot of women are out there prostituting themselves now. Anyway, they're prostituting themselves for dinner and a movie. And it's supposed to be more than that, okay? Your purity, your sexual purity is to seal the deal of a covenant, right? It's supposed to be to seal the deal of a covenant, a lifetime covenant, either your life or his life, okay? It's supposed to be a lifetime covenant, a lifetime commitment. And not it's just not valued, in our society today. It's just not a big deal. But it was a big, big deal in Israel. So I wanted to kind of bring that to you guys, give that little message. But now we find an instance over in Deuteronomy 22 and 13. I want to read a little bit of that for you, okay? And let's see, I don't know which version this is, but we're going to go through it. Deuteronomy 22, and I'm going to start at verse 13 for you guys. It says, and if any man take a wife and goes in to her and then turns against her and charges her with shameful deeds and publicly defames her and says, I took this woman, but when I came near her, I did not find her a virgin. I mean, she's supposed to be a virgin, but she's been with someone, right? Like her hymen didn't break or whatever, or, there was an echo. And if you know what I mean. So then the girl's father and her mother shall take and bring out the evidence of the girl's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate, right? So the mother and father, if she had a token of virginity, meaning, her hymen didn't break, they put the little towel napkin, under her hymen break, they keep that, and that's proof that, hey, she was a virgin, right? In 16, it said, and the girl's father shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man for a wife, but he turned against her. See how Israel governed Israel, okay? But that's just that's a quick aside, okay? You go to the elders, and behold, he has charged her with shameful deeds, okay? Talking about she's a harlot, she's a thot or something like that, right? Saying, I did not find your daughter a virgin, but this is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the garments before the elders of the city. So the elders of that city shall take the man and chastise him. Take him and chastise him. Okay, I don't know, they might get some sticks and beat the kombucha out of this guy. I don't know. But you can't, a lot of men right now are calling women, names, thots and whores and sluts and all this other stuff, right? And you better be right. When you throw those names around, you better be right, okay? We shouldn't throw those names around anyway, but you better be right if Israel is governing Israel, right? It said, and they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver. So if we take 100 shekels of silver, shalom, Elise. If we take 100 shekels of silver right now, silver's what, around $15 or something like that. Okay, about $15, $20. Man, it's been about a month since the last time I checked. But it's between 15 and $20. So let's just say it's 15. So $1,500. So he'll be fined $1,500. Okay, 100 shekels of silver, and give it to the girl's father, because he publicly defamed a virgin of Israel, and she shall remain his wife, and he cannot divorce her all his days. Right. So you can't go try the goods and then walk away. No, you can't. That's your responsibility now. You bought it, bro. You break it, you bought it. Okay, that's just how it goes, right? Big deal. Don't want no harlots in Israel, right? Sexual purity, it actually meant something for those who have this modern sensibilities and this modern skewed idea of morality. Okay, you got to understand what the Most High is trying to do. Okay, so he's trying to actually protect the woman and her purity. He cannot divorce her all his days. But if this charge is true, that the girl was not found a virgin, then they shall bring out the girl to the doorway of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her to death, because she has committed an act of folly in Israel by playing the harlot in her father's house. Thus ye shall purge the evil from among you. So ye not even supposed to be putting up with that kind of stuff. Okay, you're not even supposed to deal with that. I mean, I know there's fathers out there, and they got teenage daughters and stuff, and they feel some type of way because their 17, 18, 19-year-old daughter want to go out in the world and do their thing, and don't want to hearken to the voice unto their father. Okay, once they leave your house, they're just not under your covering. If they won't take heed to your voice, they won't listen to you. Okay, because the world has got them. Okay, I'm sorry, it's a battle between the people of the Most High and the world. Okay, just today's modern sensibilities. It's kind of tough, guys. You have, like, I used this scenario before because I got it way back when in a church, is that we're trying to, you have a bottle of pure water, right? So we're trying to give our children pure water, right? Trying to give them pure water, and the world is dousing them with a fire hydrant, right? Wickedness is like a fire hydrant. So it's hard. It's hard. It's tough. It's tough on parents. It's tough on the father. Okay. But as with all our kids, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And that's just it. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Now, obviously, the objective is to raise up righteous seed, but in a way they should go. But sometimes when they come of age and they go out and they do their own thing, you gotta look at what normally happens. For instance, you letting your daughter go because she don't want to listen to what you want her to do, the way that she should go. Or you have a daughter who's out there playing a harlot, sleeping around, stuff like that. We're supposed to stone her to death. We're supposed to stone her. Okay, so the fact that you just say, you know what, just go on out in the world, do what it is that you want to do. I'm washing my hands of it. You're no longer under my covering. That's almost a mercy, if you think about it. That's almost a mercy. Let's read now. There's a little bit of an article here talking about it, which I like. It said critics of the Bible must be careful not to impose their present-day moral system upon that of an ancient culture found in the scripture, and then judge the scripture as though it's inferior to their own subjective morality. I completely agree. This was written 3,000 years ago, different time, different place, but the moral compass, as you can see, was higher than today. Today, someone's virginity is no big deal today. Someone's sexual purity is like no big deal today. That's just how it is. That's how it is today. That's not how it shouldn't be. That's not how it should be. Okay, that's not how it should be, but that's how it is. And I'm gonna read a little bit more. It says, in the culture of the time, it was the father who was charged with the covering, care, and well-being of his daughter. That's what I said. Her sexual purity was representative of the father's ability to raise her according to the laws of God, according to Torah. Therefore, in that culture, a man's reputation as well as the family's reputation in the community could be adversely affected by the fornication of his daughter. If the daughter had been promised to a man to be married and a dowry had been paid, there was every expectation from the bridegroom that she would be a virgin. If the contrary was discovered after the marriage, then the implication is that there had been deception in which the father could be implicated, or it would mean that he was unaware of her sin, and this would bring great shame to the family and the community. Not to mention in being a display of outright rebellion against God's law. In this case, to ensure the integrity of the family and to remove the evil of adulterous fornication from the community, stoning was advocated. Okay, that's just how it was. Finally, she was not stoned for not being a virgin, but for carrying out a deception in trying to appear as one. Of course, we do not advocate any type of honor killing or anything like that. So, we can't do the honor killing stuff like that. But it wasn't a sin not to be a virgin, right? It wasn't a sin not to be a virgin, but you cannot hold yourself out to be a virgin. You can't deceive a man and say, hey, I paid a dowry, but what I'm paying for is a virgin, and I didn't get a virgin. If that is true, then the wickedness is on the father and his house and on that woman, and she gets stoned because that was a bad deal, right? That was a bad deal. But if it was found that she was innocent, right, and they were able to prove that, hey, she was a virgin, and all that, then you just made a railing accusation. You just called this woman a harlot, and she slept with nobody. So now you're giving her a bad name, and you're giving her father's house a bad name. So now you need to pay the 100 shekels of silver to the father. Okay, let that be known so everybody know that, hey, he made a railing accusation, and you need to take care of her. Oh, by the way, you need to take care of her. That's your responsibility. A deal's a deal. You don't get to go in there, well, I didn't like it. I mean, she's a virgin. It doesn't matter if you liked it or not. Okay, that doesn't matter. It only mattered that she was a virgin. That's all that mattered. That she was sexually pure. That's all that mattered. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get in there and drop that information there, just so you guys can have a little bit of an understanding about sexual purity and how it was held in such high regard. It was very, very important, and we should be doing the same thing today. No, I'm not talking about the stoning, but I'm talking about training our daughters. Okay, we're supposed to be as far as sons, righteous sons and pure daughters. That's what we have to do. Hey, if it's too late, you say, hey, I have some daughters and they're gone their own way or whatever, that's fine. That's fine. I get it. I get it. It sucks. But you can try again, or maybe you didn't know better before. But now you do. Now you do. So that's our job. Try to bring up pure girls. Hold it in high regard. Teach them to value their body. Teach them that they have worth. And no, not all the worth isn't in her virginity. It's not all. It's sealed in her virginity. The character that's behind the virginity. Okay, the virginity is the door. Okay, can be like a door, and everything that she is behind that door. Okay, but you don't get to keep that. You don't get that until you marry her. You don't get access to all of her until you marry her. You don't get all those benefits. So I'm not saying all of it is in that, but that's just, the virginity is just a never been open seal, never been open cap. You can't get all that goodness without buying it and opening the cap. It's behind that virginity, behind that purity. That's how it is, guys. That's how it is. It should be important. It's important to the Most High. It's Torah, so it definitely should be important to you. It should be important to the both of us. To all of us in Israel. Sexual purity. You guys give me your thoughts. Israelite Prepper. Stay woke. I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, and by the way, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And slap the kombucha out of that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content. I'm going to see